am Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog at KIX96country.com. Our guest today all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, new artist Brian Collins. Welcome to KIX Country.
How you doing?
All right, so I got a chance to see you for the very first time at the CMA Music Festival just this past year, 2014 CMA Fest. Right. And I've told you before, I've told my audience several times, is if you get a chance to go to the CMA Music Fest, obviously everybody wants to go to LP Field and they want to see the big shows and everything. But if you really want a great experience the week that you spend in Nashville, you really want to go downtown and hang out at all of the venues and see all of the new and emerging artists as they ply their trade for you during the CMA Music Festival. Brian Collins was one of those names on that list this past year during the CMA Music Fest in Nashville. And I got a chance to see him not once but twice because, well, it was quite honestly, it was one of the better shows that I'd seen that whole week.
Well, thank you, appreciate that.
Now, originally, you're from Georgia, correct?
Yeah,
West Georgia.
Douglasville, Georgia, so West Georgia community there.
And so, when did you start playing songwriting? Was it like early on, or were you doing other things?
No, I was kind of doing other things. I was just sort of being a kid, but you know, I kind of just stumbled upon being a kind of a jock, if you will, through high school, and then picked up the acoustic guitar and just started playing some songs and realized that this is what I wanted to do, you know?
Well, I mean, ordinarily we get a lot of artists that come through here that say, you know, my dad played in a band or my mom sang for this person, that person. Your parents were truck drivers.
Yep, they were.
So was there any music that came out of that, or was it just totally shocking?
You know, I didn't come from a musical family. You know, I was just kind of a kid who liked the radio. I carried my radio everywhere I went. Had back then it was the boom box they had, but you know, to pass the time though, they would listen to radio a lot, and that's sort of where, you know, I would get a lot of my influences from music-wise, growing up as a kid, and even on into, you know, teenage years. So.
Yeah. And now you've been compared to everybody from, you know, the Eli Young Band to Bob Seger, which, you know, my hometown, Bob Seger, and your music, which I've heard, you know, is very unique to you. It's very stylized, and it's very good. How would you place yourself in that range?
You know, I think it's just that kind of music is hard on your sleeve kind of music. It's not either this or that. It just comes from the heart and it's honest. Mm-hmm. And the honesty is what makes it shine through, I think.
Coming out of West Georgia with parents or truck drivers, you listening to the radio a lot. Was it more country? Was it more classic rock oriented?
It was a mix of everything, and you know, I've played a lot of different kind of music myself, and you know, you're always constantly learning and growing and finding out who you are. And you know, I found that a lot of these influences, like my mom liked Elvis, Don Williams, and my dad liked the Beach Boys and Johnny Cash, and I would listen to a lot of these classic elements in the music, and I think they kind of surface, whether you want them to or not. They're just there. So.
Well, now we're on to your first major project. Your album is due out actually next month, Healing Highway. October, what is the street date?
October 7th.
October 7th for
the official date.
And now the single released this week, actually, Never Really Left.
Yeah.
Now this album, you've written or co-written every song on there, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Now, and you also engineered it.
I was a producer.
Producer.
Yeah.
All right, so you have all of these skills when it comes to making music. Was that something you intended to do when you started music? Said, I'm going to learn how to do everything. I'm going to write it, sing it, play it, produce it, engineer it, mix it.
Well, you know, I like all aspects, you know, and I like to tinker with things and create. But, you know, for the most part, I had tried to do music before, didn't really know how to go about doing it. So I kind of went to square one and got myself a recording studio and kind of built up. And I started recording other people and producing them and even writing their songs for their albums, and then producing it as well, and then doing their artwork for their CDs. And so I learned all these things.
Graphic design, that's another skill that you...
Yeah, I did the whole CD. I mean, the whole CD's right from scratch. Man.
Absolutely. So you baked this whole thing up in Brian Collins' little music kitchen.
It's a little easy bake oven. easy bake oven.
Well, the first track on the album is Never Really Left, and oddly enough, that's your debut single off the album. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Never Really Left. What is this song about?
Never Really Left is exactly what it is. You know, no matter where you go or how far up that ladder you get, you just stay grounded. take your morals, your principles with you. You know, there's also a love story in there about somebody that I knew, and you know, and just another little quick thing. You know, all these songs have something to do with a particular thing that has happened in my life, so it's all related one or the other to that. So with Never Really Left, you know, sometimes there's people who enter in your life that you don't necessarily, you're not around them, but they're always in your thoughts, whether you like it or not.
Well, generating songs, as you said, that throw back to something in your life, something that personal. Is there any song on this CD that's like a particular favorite? You're like, Brian's like, that's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, I would have to say Next 500 Miles was my favorite song on this particular album. So,
right.
And it's more of a song. It's a traveling song about someone who used to ride with you wherever you went. It's not so much about the miles. The miles are just sort of metaphorically speaking, but you know, it's about having that person there throughout your journey. But then, you know, they're no longer there. Sometimes you call back, and it's just all about, you know, lost love and trying to cope. So
absolutely. Well, there's really great stuff you're going to hear on the album. Don't forget, it's October 7th is the street date for this. You can get it on iTunes. The single is available now, right?
It is. It is on iTunes.
All right. And if you want to find Brian Collins on the internet, you look for BrianCollinsMusic.com. And what's your Twitter handle?
Official BCB.
And that's also Instagram, too, by the way.
It is.
And, of course, is it the same Facebook? Facebook.com/officialBCB?
I think it's official Brian Collins. So
okay. Well, you can search him on Facebook. You find him there. And, Brian, we look forward to new things, great things coming out of you. Appreciate you coming down here to KIX 96. Pick up this album next month. Go pick up the single right now. Never Really Left. If you want to hear it, call us at KIX 96. We'll be happy to play it for you. And Brian Collins, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Another artist video blog, KIX96country.com.